It worked? Okay. No, mine didn't start. Okay, I got mine. Grab it. Grab it. Yeah, grab yours quickly. You got it? Yeah, grab it.
Archivist isn't
Do
a
you have it?
job description. It's who and what she is at her core.
Okay.
She
Now
consumed
go to Shiro and get
Ready
Outbreak
for
Prime.
this?
Boom.
All right, Guardian. This
Yep,
is
I
my
have it.
first attempt at mixing SIVA with my own brand of gunsmithing. You probably won't die, but someone will.
Hello, this is NW97 for another Destiny video. Today we're going to talk about the Outbreak Prime. Really a review of, what kind of gun it is, how to get it, stuff like that. Well, first of all, I would like to say Happy New Year, and we're going to start off with the New Year with a summary of the Outbreak Prime. So, the Outbreak Prime. I'll say this about this weapon. It is the most hardest weapon to get in Destiny. Period. There is a crazy quest that you had to go through the raid literally like twice throughout the entire quest. You literally had to do the Nightfall, which is one of the biggest endgame activities in Destiny. And also, you had to do Archon's Forge, Patrol, basically everything involving the Rise of Iron. So, after you do all that, you had to do even more difficult things, like even math, like all the stuff that you learned from high school where you thought it was absolutely useless. Well, then you figured out, turns out it is very useful because Bungie wants it to make it useful. So, you will go through an erratic quest, you do all that, and you get the Outbreak Prime. Uh, I will link down below in the description on how to get it. So, let's get started on this weapon, and I'm going to show you the perks for the Outbreak Prime, and most importantly, the handy uses for the weapon in Destiny. Here are the perks for Outbreak Prime. First, we start off with the very special perk of this weapon, the Corruption Spreads. Enemies that take repeated hits from this weapon spawn Seared nanites that attack other enemies. Fallen take extra damage. For the first tree, we have Smooth Ballistics, increased recoil, boost to range. Accurized Ballistics, more range and impact, increased recoil. And last, Smart Drift Control, predictable and controllable recoil, penalty to range. For our first perk, we have Outlaw. Precision kills with this weapon drastically increase reload speed. In our second tree, we have Lightweight. When held, this weapon grants +2 character agility. Then we have Hand Loaded. This weapon is effective at an extended range. Then we have Fitted Stock. Increases weapon stability. The last perk here is Virulous. Precision kills release a Siva nanite swarm that attacks other enemies. So for this weapon, I would recommend having the first tree, having linear compensator basically at all times with the Outbreak Prime, both for PvP and PvE. The reason why most pulse rifles are specifically made to work at the best way possible by having stability into the weapon. By having linear compensator, you will have the most stability with Outbreak Prime. And also, make sure to have fitted stock on Outbreak Prime as well. If you have both linear compensator and fitted stock on it, you get the most stability out of this weapon. Outbreak Prime is good, even though if you don't have any of those stability perks on, but it just makes it easier for you to shoot and get headshots for this weapon, which is kind of essential for Outbreak Prime. Because one, you have Outlaw, which increases your reload speed when you kill something, and two, you also have the Virulous perk, where it activates when you get headshots. The good thing about this weapon is that it gets extra damage for Fallen, and it actually gives you more damage having the fourth burst into the weapon. So you'll have a whole bunch of swarms that go through the weapon for both just doing a lot of damage to it and for getting headshots with it. What I like about this weapon the most is its awesome shooting sounds. Just check it out for yourself. You know what I mean. That sound just brings me back to year one, hearing Icebreaker go off, or having Pocket Infinity charging up, just spewing out all of its destruction. So, for um, basically the conclusion with the Outbreak Prime. For PvE, this is basically the best primary to do the most damage against Fallen. This actually competes for even heavy weapons for going against bosses. There are weapons out there that are better, like Sleeper Simulant is definitely a lot better for raid bosses. Dark Drinker is definitely a lot better for access, and even Gallowhorn might be a slight bit better just for its automatic damage. But this still does really good damage against bosses in the raid. Basically, this weapon is all about the raid. Like the Vex Mythoclast, the Necrochasm, they were specifically made for their raids. Vortiglass for Vex Mythoclast, Necrochasm for Courtesan. Well, now we have Outbreak Prime for the Wrath of the Machine. What this is really good for is basically DPS against Fallen. Like seriously, that's what it's made to be. This weapon does a whole bunch of damage. It does it does more damage than an average legendary heavy weapon. So a primary doing more damage than a heavy weapon will definitely give you some really good perks with it. So not only you get bonus damage to Fallen, but you also have the Swarms, which does a significant amount of damage to Fallen. But the thing is, it doesn't do as much damage to other enemies like Taken or Cabal. But it does have good crowd control effects, and it has a good stun effect as well. So basically, if you want this weapon, you want it for the raid specifically. For PvE, that's what it's basically made for: damage and raid. It actually rewards you a lot using Outlaw, um, getting headshots, which is very good. But it also rewards you for taking on bosses and to do a lot of damage. Not only it releases swarms every time you hit something, you also get bonus damage for the fourth burst that you do continuous damage to your opponent. I think it's like 10 to 15% more damage, I believe. If not, it's like 5%, which is still really good. It does a lot of damage to Access. It does a lot of damage to Vosik, which is, really handy for the raid. But honestly, I think if you want to do as much damage as possible to the raid bosses, use Sleeper Simulant or Dark Drinker. But this is an excellent replacement for those type of weapons if you don't feel like using Sleeper Simulant. This certainly does more DPS than Sleeper Simulant, and this definitely keeps you far away from range with Dark Drinker, which can be very good. And so, honestly, this weapon is basically good for all of the raid, not only for certain scenarios, just like doing boss damage or something, but it also does really good damage against the bosses, the captains, the servitors, even the spider tank in the Wrath of the Machine in hard mode with the Des Zamboni. Now for PvP, honestly, this is just a regular pulse rifle. There's nothing special about it. The coolest thing that you can get is like if someone is damaged with another partner that's damaged, and then you activate the swarms, and then it activates, and then you get double down. That's like the best you can do with this weapon. It can be pretty fun, but honestly, the reason why you want to use this is just to have fun and giggles with your friends. Also, I like to say that this weapon is a lot of people say that this isn't worth it for like the hardest quest in the game. Personally, I would say this is, but probably a little bit buff with like the swarm grenades. Okay, guys, that is the end of the video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and comment below on how long it took for you to get Outbreak Prime. It took me for like an entire weekend to get it. Okay, thank you guys. God bless, and goodbye.